It's summer, which means it is hotter than the devil's butthole after $2 taco night, and there are mosquitoes out here the size of small birds. Get your butt outside and do some cooking, because it's grilling season. But I'm here to tell you, the only kind of cooking you're doing outdoors is grilling. You're missing out. Outdoor cooking when I was a kid basically meant a charcoal Weber or maybe a propane grill. There were other options out there, but they weren't very common. Those were the prominent ways to cook outdoors back in the Middle Ages, the 80s, when I grew up. Word about my age. The 80s were awesome, but these days we have way more options for building out our outdoor cooking arena of glory. Charcoal and gas grills still have their place, don't get me wrong, but now we have offset smokers, we have pellet smokers, we have flat top griddles, outdoor deep fryers, which I have right over here, and what we're talking about today, one of my family's absolute favorites, the good old wood-fired pizza oven. Specifically, we will be talking about this little gem over here, the Ooni Karu 16 multi-fuel pizza oven. All right, let's take a quick minute there to thank the sponsor of today's video, Cook Unity. Today's video, we are talking about the glory of outdoor cooking, but cooking takes time and effort. And well, sometimes I don't wanna. Cook Unity makes sure you have a great meal even when you feel more like being a couch potato than peeling potatoes. See what I did there? It's good. I'm sorry. My apologies, that was rough. Cook Unity delivers chef-prepared, restaurant-quality meals right to your door. They partner up with award-winning chefs and feel that great quality food should be available to everyone. And buddy, let me tell you, they have something out there for everyone. They have a huge menu of dishes inspired from all around the world that changes weekly. They cover all types and styles, all dietary needs. On their site, you can search by region, you can filter by the meat, vegan or vegetarian, caloric intake, dietary restrictions like gluten-free, dairy-free, low sodium. You can even sort by paleo or keto if that's something you're into. You can tailor your menu to your specific needs. You can also pause, skip, or cancel at any time. Just pop on their site, answer a couple quick questions so they have an idea of what you're looking for, and Bob's your uncle. You can select your meals yourself ahead of time or just let Cook Unity pick a selection for you based on your preferences. They come straight to your door, fresh, not frozen, ready for you to heat up and enjoy in minutes. Some of the meals I got this week, which were delicious, I might add, were the garlic hanger steaks from Chef Andres Mendez. Also from the same chef, I got the crispy Parmesan chicken tenders, which were also very, very nice. But maybe one of my favorites of all times, of all the Cook Unity meals I've ever got, from Chef John DeLucci, Mom's Sunday rigatoni with meatballs. And let me tell you something, those are some good meatballs. I mean, by far, it's as good as any meatball I can make at home or better. They're just delicious, I love them. If this sounds like something you're into, just go to cookunity.com/JeremySires or click the link I'll list below. Use code JeremySires50 to get 50% off your first order from Cook Unity. Thanks again to the folks at Cook Unity for sponsoring this video and supporting the channel. And with that out of the way, let's get back out here in this heat and get to talking about this Ooni. As always, I like to start off with disclosures of any relationships I have with companies, of any products that I review. My relationship with Ooni is minimal at best. About a year ago, I reached out to them to see if they would be interested in sending me one of these models out for a review, and happily they obliged. They are not sponsors, no money exchanged hands, and I don't even have any kind of affiliate relationship with that company. And to their credit, they sent this thing like over a year ago, probably at this point, for me to test out, and that's the last thing I heard from them. That's not great for them that it's taken me a year to do this review, but it's good for you guys because I've put this baby through its paces. This is a good, like, long-term review. This baby has been sitting outside and I've been using it for probably the last year, if not a little bit longer. I keep my reviews unbiased and give my honest opinion and thoughts, but I still like to disclose the situation and be as transparent as you guys with I can. That way you can make your own judgments. It is worth mentioning, Ooni does offer a full range of ovens, so go check out their website because depending on what your budget is, what your needs are and so forth, they probably have different models that could potentially fit you better. But for the purpose of this video, we're concentrating on old girl right here. The model I have, which I guess you would consider their flagship model, the Ooni Karu 16 multi-fuel pizza oven. The Karu 16 has, as you might have guessed it, a 16-inch cooking surface. To be more specific, the cooking surface is 16.7 by 16.7 or 42.42 by 42.42 centimeters for you guys on metric. Actually, a little bit bigger with the propane configuration because you save room in the back where the wood basket goes. Either way, you can easily cook up to a 16-inch pizza in this model. It has a 0.6 or 15 millimeter thick corduroyite? It's got a 0.6 thick inch pizza stone. I can't pronounce shit, you know that. The oven body is made of powder coated carbon steel and stainless steel, which is very well made, and I actually really like the design. I also appreciate the Karu has a hinged glass door on the front, which allows for easy monitoring of your cooking while also providing a little bit better temperature stability and quicker preheat. Dimensions of the whole unit are 33 by 32 by 20. An old girl weighs in at 62.6 pounds or 28.4 kilograms. The Karu also comes with a convenient digital thermometer that helps you keep an eye on your temps because this baby can hit 950 degrees. She's a hot girl, hot girl. The Karu 16 is a multi-fuel oven like we talked about a few times. So it does come with a basket you can pop in the back, load that bad boy up with charcoal or wood, and you've got yourself a proper wood-fired oven. Or if you're lazy like your boy here, it can easily be converted in just a few minutes to natural gas or propane with a gas adapter that snaps on the back. The adapters are sold separately, but I think it's worth it. It really makes the use of this thing so much easier. I wanted the real wood-fired option, and I'm super glad I have it. I do plan on using some of the wood-fired options in the future, but in over a year I've had this thing, I've always used it in propane mode because it just makes it quick, it's easy, and everything I've cooked in it turns out fantastic. If you did want the propane only model, and budget is a problem because the propane only model is cheaper, Ooni does have Coda 16, I think it is. Less bells and whistles than the Karu, but if you think you're never gonna use the wood option, that could be a good way to save a little bit of cash and still get outside banging out some awesome pizzas with the family. In the propane model, you simply turn on the gas, hit the igniter, and flame on. You get straight flamethrower shooting fire into the oven to cook your pizzas. There is a nice little hatch on the back here, and which you can use to see your flames so you don't blow yourself up getting it lit. It's also the same door that you'll use if you're using it in the wood mode to kind of tend your fire and put more fire in the basket and get everything lit and whatnot. Heat up time, according to Ooni, is about 15 minutes, and while the inside of the oven will hit that 800 or 900 degree mark in around 15 minutes, depending on your ambient temperature outside and whatnot, the stone here in the bottom takes longer. And trust me, I've made that mistake. You want to make sure your stone is up to temp before you start cooking pizzas. Otherwise, you put them in there and it's so hot that all your pizza toppings and whatnot burn and your crust doesn't get done on the bottom because your stone's not hot enough. So I like to give it, I'd say a good 20-30 minutes and then check your stone temperature with an infrared thermometer to make sure your stone is good and hot before you launch your first pizza. We'll hit on the infrared thermometers here in just a little bit when we go into some of the accessories that I think are almost necessary if you're gonna use this thing. Once everything is preheated, you can knock out pizzas in as little as 60 to 90 seconds. I know I said the same thing. I was like, how the hell do you cook anything? But when you're cooking shit at 800 or 900 degrees, it doesn't take long. And the texture and taste of the pizza is second to none. If you've ever had brick oven, you know what I'm talking about. The crust has this nice like crispiness to the outside because of the high temps, but it still stays kind of soft and chewy on the inside and fluffy. A little touch of char, just perfect. Cheese gets all nice and browned on top, and do not get me started about the cupped pepperonis. You buy the natural case pepperoni and you get these nice little crispy pepperoni cups of goodness. They get a little crispy around the edges. Delicious. We make all types of pizza on this guy, but our favorites are the standard Neapolitan style pizza, which is just like tomatoes, a little bit of homemade sauce, some fresh mozzarella, a little drizzle, some olive oil, maybe a little bit of basil. Simple, fresh, delicious. And of course, because of the pepperoni cups, the standard pepperoni with those little crispy pepperoni cups. Oh, God. Man, you put a slice of that pepperoni pizza on top of your head, your tongue will beat your brains out trying to get to it. I'm just saying. It's also worth mentioning that even though pizza is the main thing that this guy's used for. This little 900-degree beast can cook anything, especially anything where high heat is advantageous. Think of like how good you could sear a steak on this guy. Ooni has a whole book of recipes, things you can cook like ciabatta bread, salt crusted flank steak, a roasted corn with chili butter recipe. Tell me that doesn't sound delicious. Prime rib, lamb chops, potatoes, hell desserts, anything you can think of. Don't pigeonhole this into thinking you can only cook pizza on this, because while we use it for that 90% of the time, definitely good for other kinds of cooking also. When cooking pizza, you will generally make a pretty good mess on the stone, but the beautiful thing about it is it's basically self-cleaning. All you do is take the stone out, wipe out the inside, get the stuff off, wipe off the stone, flip it upside down, put it back in there, and because it gets 900 degrees, the next time you cook on it, it's gonna self-clean, and that stone's gonna look like new. It's a beautiful thing. Mine actually needs to be cleaned right now. Flip that baby over next time, she'll come out white as snow. I've also been really impressed with the materials they used in making this guy. I tell companies, and I think I've mentioned this in videos before, but I tell companies all the time, if you want to torture test an outdoor product, send it to me here in Florida. Florida can tear up, rust out, or fade out just about anything. If it holds up here, you're generally going to be good to go. And I have to say, after being outside for probably, like I said, around a year or so now, I'm impressed. Other than the cover, which has faded a little bit because the Florida sun will fade everything. It's a little more dark charcoal gray than the black it was when I got it. But other than that, this thing basically looks like the day I got it. It's held up remarkably well. Speaking of the cover, let's take a beat and talk about the accessories I think you're gonna need for this guy. If you wanna use it in propane mode, you're gonna have to grab one of the conversion kits. It does not come with that. You will also wanna grab one of those infrared thermometers. That's almost a necessity because you really need to make sure that stone is at temperature before you cook it. You can buy the Ooni one. They make fantastic ones. You don't have to buy that brand. You can get them on Amazon. Just make sure, and I'll link some down below, just make sure that it gets up to 900 degrees because not all the infrared thermometers will actually go to the 900 or 1,000-degree mark you need to monitor the temperature inside this thing. You also need a pizza peel for launching and grabbing your pizzas out when they're done. And you're gonna need a pizza turner, which is basically like a little round pizza peel with a really long stick so you can keep away from the heat. And you can rotate that pizza as you're cooking it because it's just the nature of wood-fired pizza cooking. You have to keep the pizza moving or you'll burn sides of it. So you'll need one of those. I also highly recommend you get a cover. You always wanna protect your investment, and cover goes a long way to keeping your new oven in good shape. I will say the Ooni covers are fantastic. They fit like a glove and it is held up super well. There are a few other bits and bobs you can definitely pick up to make pizza night a little easier, but those are the ones that I think are probably like your baseline. You pretty much need all that stuff to get going. Everything else is just bells and whistles. All right, I think we've hit all the features, things I like about the Karu. Karu, I don't know. I feel like that's like an anime character. But what is wrong with the thing? What are the cons? Well, I have to say, in my opinion, the pros far outweigh the cons, but with anything, nothing is perfect. So what are some of the downsides to think about? Well, one, it can be really expensive. The additional cost of the propane system, pizza peels, lasers, temperature guns, all this kind of stuff, it can get expensive to get into. It's still much cheaper than getting like one built, like a custom like brick oven built at your house. It's far, far cheaper than that. And it's easier to move around, it's more mobile and whatnot. But it's still not cheap. I do wish they put the propane knob on the front. It might not have been possible due to just how things worked out because the system, it does go on the back, but man, do I wish that thing was on the front because this thing's deep, so it's really hard without burning the shit out of yourself to turn the gas up and down while you're cooking. So it would have been nice if the propane knob was in front. Maybe it's something Ooni can adjust for future models. Also, you're gonna tear up some food. You're gonna ruin some food. There is a pretty steep learning curve when you're dealing with 900-degree cooking temperatures. Shit goes sideways very fast when you're cooking at those temperatures, so you're for sure gonna fuck up some pizzas, 100%. After a few pizzas, you'll get the hang of it, how to move them around, and like I said, as far as I'm concerned, it's worth it because there is no better pizza than the pizza out of an oven like this. Other than that, a year of use, I can't really find a whole lot wrong with this guy. I've really enjoyed it. The family loves it. It still looks good after a year. I think if you're looking to add another weapon to your outdoor cooking arsenal, I reckon the Karu, pretty good choice. All right, folks. Well, as always, before we close out, let's draw a winner for last week's giveaway and let's do this week's. Last week, we were giving away the Home and Hatfield Curator Pro. Get an old random comment picker and go. And this week's winner is Josh Neely. Josh, congratulations. Can't go any video without fucking something up. Congratulations, my brother. You are gonna have a new Home and Hatfield Curator Pro coming at you. It's a really awesome, awesome watch case. Josh says, loving the gun wall, more pew pew content, please. Josh, the dude abides. There is more coming. Most of the gun content will probably be on my second channel, just to be safe, because YouTube's a little weird. Jeremy Sires After Hours, so if you're not a subscriber over there, definitely go do that. Josh, we will be reaching out to you in the comments below, having you send us an email so we can get your deets and get that Curator Pro coming at you. Congratulations again, dude. Thanks for being a subscriber, liking the video, and all the things, all the things. All right, guys, so let's do this week's giveaway. This week, let's give away, I know, I got some new bandanas coming out. So we'll give away one of the new bandanas. They work out great for outdoor cooking. You can put them around your neck to keep the sun off you. I use it, hang it in my back pocket. I use it as a kind of a towel to wipe my hands while I'm cooking. Multi-purposes for a new bandana. And I think we haven't even dropped them yet, so you'll technically be one of the first people to get one probably. So there you go. Let's take a second to do our asshole alert, scammer alert. I always announce these winners live. So unless you hear me say your name live, don't fall for it. It's a scam. People put comments down below that you won. Not real. I announce winners live. So there's your warning. For next week's giveaway, rules are as always. You have to be a subscriber to both channels, both this channel and the After Hours channel, where we do a lot of our, like I said, the pew pew content, and we do our live streams over there and whatnot. Have to smash that like button, and then down below comment, this week, let's do hashtag cook outdoors, hashtag bandana. All right, folks, well, that will close up this video. Got some good ones coming. Got the truck EDC part 2 coming. Got the part 2 of the office remodel going. Got some whiskey videos coming. Lots of cool stuff coming. So definitely hit that notification bell. Stay up with what's going on the channel. You know what I'm saying? That's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to smash that like button. That always helps us out. If you're not a subscriber, please consider doing so. We'd love to have you on board. I hope everyone is having a fantastic week, and we'll see you in the next video. And it's about time for your boy to go back inside. We're getting that pool over there. Because it's Florida, and it's July, which means it's unbearable. I actually had to blow dry my lenses. Yes. As soon as I came out, they all fogged up. Because it's cold inside, you bring them out here, everything fogs up, and it takes forever. Had to blow dry them to warm them up so I can film this. See what I do for you guys? I told you I love y'all.